Hello friends, welcome to TM7 Adventures. Lisa here. Today I'm going to make this awesome meatballs and tomato sauce. Now I saw this in the TM7 for the first time on a comparison meet the TM6, meet the TM7 video, and I've been hanging to make this since. It's an open lid mode one. However, if you've got the TM31, 5 or 6, I will give you instructions as well. So let's go start cooking. First things first is we make the meatballs. It's telling me that I need to get rid of my other recipe. I just cross that out and then we go start. So first things first, we need into the bowl, we're going to make our meatball mix. So into the bowl, we're going to have, it says to weigh into bowl, some bread and some milk. Now I'm actually going to skip that step because I do not want to use the bread and I don't want the milk in it either. So I don't need to do that. It normally soaks it. Now it's asking for some Parmesan cheese that I forgot to get out of the fridge. So I'm just going to pause this and go grab that. Okay, I've got my cheese. Parmesan cheese, 40 grams. It's not a huge amount. It's just a little bit. If you've got to be dairy free, leave it out. That will be fine. In this goes. Then I've got some parsley. Now I don't have fresh, it's cold outside, so I am cheating. By the way, you might hear the kettle boiling. That is for later. I'm going to use some dried parsley because it's cold and I don't want to go outside and get it. And then it says garlic clove optional. I'll put in some garlic paste. Just a teaspoon will do. We need that again later, so I won't put that away. And we go next. Now we're going to put our lid on and chop. 5 seconds, speed 7. Let's go play and off it goes. I don't think that's chopped enough. My Parmesan was very solid. Oh, no, it's not chopped enough. Scrape down the sides with spatula and then it normally just goes on. So I'm actually going to repeat that step. So I'm going to click that again and just go play. Sounds a bit better. Let's have a look. So the beauty of it is if you do have a step that you didn't like the final outcome, you just repeat it. Scrape down the sides with a spatula, and now we're going to add 500 grams of beef mince, 1 egg, salt and pepper, and I've got a secret ingredient to add into this recipe as well. So first of all, with our mince, just make sure you drop it around the blades so that it can get mixed in. If you just put the whole chunk on the top like that, it won't get mixed. Mine's probably more than 500. Mine's closer to a kilo. That's okay. May or may not fit all these into open cooking. We'll see how we go. So in that goes. Now we're going to add an egg. So I've got an egg beaten up from putting it on bread the other day, making bread. So I'm going to use that because it needs using. Now some salt and pepper. I'm going to replace the salt with a magic ingredient. You may already know what this is because you've seen me do it before, and it's veggie stock. Just a teaspoon of veggie stock at this point in time. You don't want to go too heavy because otherwise it'll get too salty, but a little bit of veggie stock, okay? Mine is a little different colored, that's okay. You might notice I haven't been ticking them off. That's okay, I can still just go next. It gives you that flexibility. Squeeze the milk out of the bread. Didn't do that. And then add it next. And now we're gonna mix it. So, 10 seconds, speed 5. Press the play button and off this goes. So it's combining that all together for me. Let's see how it's done. Transfer to a bowl. We're going to come back and shape meatballs in a second from this. Oh my goodness, perfect. Look at that. Well combined through. Yum. That looks beautiful. Okay. I'm going to put this into my bowl. So upside down over the bowl and use, if you've got your spatula, use your spatula to turn this. I think my spatula's in the dishwasher, so I won't. Yeah, it's not up there, so I'll just use my hand. It's pretty easy to turn anyway. You want to get that meat out. Now, I think it tells us to clean it at this point. I'm not going to worry about cleaning it. I'm pretty happy with how clean that bowl is. The Parmesan may stick, the meat may stick. That's okay. Everything comes off later. So we'll just go next. Just get that off the bench. Okay, see, clean and dry mixing bowl. They're worried about that Parmesan, that meat sticking into the bottom of the bowl. Next up, place some oil, 20 grams, 2 cloves of garlic, and also because we're about to use high heat, that will also be the explanation for why they want to clean that bowl. All right, 2 cloves. Look at the little line ticking it off for us. See it on the screen? 2 cloves of garlic. I just love that. That is just awesome. Brown onion, 200 grams. I don't know that I've got 200 grams. We'll give it a go with what I've got. But I do have celery and I do have carrot. 160, that's enough. Then we've got some, I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm doing carrot first because that's what's in my hand. Oh, a little short, that's all right. We'll add up for that in the, we're swapping them around, so I know. Okay, celery. Really? Okay, we'll go a little heavy on the celery to make up for the lack of carrot and the lack of brown onion. Next, okay, we're going to cook this off. Put the lid on. 12 minutes, 160 degrees, gentle cook. We just press play. While that's happening, now we make our meatballs. So, oh, by the way, my celery was frozen, so you might hear that rattling around in there, and that's why, because they were frozen. With the oiled hands, and by the way, this is cooking, not that you can hear it because it's quiet. So with oiled hands, shape mince into small meatballs, approximately 20, and place aside. Now, while that's cooking away, if you are doing this on a TM5, a TM31, a TM6, TM6, you have high heat. You can do that, okay? Easy. Those of you with a TM5, a TM31, you will need to use Vorwerk, okay? So for this 12-minute cook, I would put it on 15 minutes and I'd put it on Vorwerk so that it's cooking off nice and as hot as yours can go for this period of time, okay? So it kind of reminds me of, now I'm going to pronounce this wrong, please don't laugh too hard, but is it the mirepoix? Is that what it's called? Where you cook off your veggies at the beginning with your onion and garlic and make them all soft. Kind of reminds me of that. And I've probably totally pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry, those of you who are very authentic to whatever that is. So yeah, I'm just rolling these meatballs. I love how efficient Thermomix cooking is. These meatballs are going to go in soon into the bowl. Now, if I want to know what comes up next, I can jump ahead and have a look. So I can go next. It says that's the step that we're currently on, and I've got 10 minutes remaining on this step. Now, this reminds me a lot of our old demo menu that we used to do very many years ago, where we used to make meatballs in tomato sauce. And that recipe is phenomenal if you're ever wanting a different recipe to this. Maybe you've got more meat and you need to do something that doesn't fit in the bowl. You actually put them on the Vorwerk tray up at the back there. You can see the Vorwerk. And steam them over the tomato sauce, and it's amazing. Again, one that I would say add the magic ingredient of the beautiful stock paste. Just lift that flavor immensely. Okay, it's heating up still. Now, the beautiful thing about this high heat mode is I can open the lid in a minute. So once I get these meatballs made, I'm actually going to open the lid and have a little sticky beak and see what's going on inside. It does stop heating when you do open it, and it stops stirring. You'll notice it'll come to a stop, and it tells you on the little screen, the digital display, to put the lid back on. But I do love being able to see what's going on in there, and having a sticky beak in the actual bowl take that lid off so easily. So we'll do that in a second. I've just got probably 3 more to roll. Don't know if mine are too big or not. I've got 2, 4, 5, 10, 15, 16. Considering this was extra mince, I might have large meatballs. But anyway, rolling meatballs is not my favorite pastime. So that's okay. We'll just get the job done. The egg is your binder in this, by the way. If you're wondering if you can do egg free, you'd have to use something like chia seeds to bind it, because you need something that sticks it all together. And if you're going to do that, you probably want to make sure you do have your milk with your soaked bread as well, to help it bind. All right, last bit. This is the last meatball. Okay, it's a largish one. It's the last one. So what I might do is I might take a portion off that and stick it with another one. This little one in the corner. Okay, so meatballs are done. Gluten-free, because I didn't put the bread in, but you could do them gluten-free with using a gluten-free bread. Okay, let's have a look here at what's happening inside. You're going to have to look fast, otherwise the camera's going to fog up with the steam. Ready? Can you see and hear the sizzling? Yum. cooking off beautifully in there. It does stop, so that those blades come to a stop and it actually like stops cooking, so it's not going to keep boiling at you or come out the top at you. 8 minutes remaining, so I can look ahead now and see. I'm going to chop it in a moment. It says that's a future step. I'm going to add tomato passata. I've got that out, some water, some salt and some pepper, and we're going to cook it again for 10 minutes, and then we're going to make it into a silky smooth soup kind of mix. And then we've got the meatballs go in. So what we might do is I might come back in 7 minutes and I'll take you through the next step together so we can see what else, because I think I've got all those bits and pieces out and ready to go. So we'll see you in 7 minutes to continue this recipe on. See you then. Okay, welcome back. It's done. Let's go next. Let's have a look at what it looks like. Oh, that onion is now quite translucent. I reckon the carrot's probably partially cooked. It says it's now going to chop for 3 seconds before. Let's go do that. Press play. Right, let's have a look at what that looks like after the chop. Oh, yum. That looks beautiful. The celery's all softened. It smells amazing as well. Sorry, you can't see that very well. All right, next up we got tomato passata. I've just got diced tomatoes, tin diced tomatoes. So in they go, and it says 460. I'm hopeful I might have about that amount. Oh, too much. 512. I'll just stop there. Okay, next up I've got some water, 350. Okay, and this goes. A little more. Okay, some salt. Now the magic ingredient, as per before, we're going to add veggie stock. Now this time we can add a tablespoon in because we're going into a full dinner meal. You know, 4 to 6 serves. That's in. We use that, and then pepper. So we don't need to put salt in because we've got the veggie stock. 1 teaspoon of pepper. All right, now we're going to go next. And we're going to cook it again. So we're bringing this up to the boil. 10 minutes, 120 degrees. We'll press play. It's already 75 degrees in there. Also, my kettle had just been boiled. So I've actually gone and put in boiling water to that. So that's going to have sped up that process a little bit. But I'll be back in. It's not going to take a full 10 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it. My little number here above the timing, or if I'm somewhere else, up the top here, you can see it says 65 of 120. Just maybe see that. Let me see if I can wiggle your screen to show you. There it is. That's the screen there that I'll keep an eye on. And when it gets really hot and boiling, then I think we smooth this out and put our meatballs in. So I will see you shortly. Okay guys, I'm feeling a little impatient. It's up to 98 of 120. It probably won't get to 120 or 120 because once it's at rapidly boil, it will sense that. So I'm going to quit this step a little early. I'm going to hit the pause button and I'm just going to go next. Now it asks me to blend. So easy, that's just to press play. By the way, it's probably not quite boiling now. It's stopped boiling, but it would have been boiling in there. Let's press play, 30-second blend. Then we're going to add our meatballs in. I love this. You can barely hear it at the beginning. You can hear it now. Done. Next. So now we've kind of got that nice and soupy in there. And now it wants the reserved meatballs in. Check this out. Let me take this off and show you. See, look at that. That smells amazing. I reckon you could eat that all alone. Okay, all the meatballs in. I might just bring the scales up because I'm curious. I think it was 1 kilo, but I'm curious to see. This is just short of 1 litre worth of sauce. So we're going to put these all in, drop them around. Now there's no blade cover in here. We're going in with that, but it doesn't matter because it's going to boil and we're just going to come back and stir it occasionally. I'm hoping that I'll fit them all in the liquid because I've got more than 500 was about 2 meatballs ago. So we'll just have to see how we go here at actually covering them. Can I push them down? Oh, I can push them down. There's more space. Fabulous. That's what I was wondering, because you want them all to be covered because they're going to be boiling in this liquid. Let's see how much we can get in there. We need to make sure if we're ever doing this, we are staying under our max line. You don't want it over the max. So that's all my meatballs, and it was 1 kilo. Fabulous. That's really good to know. So let's just see if I can get them covered, because the next step says ensure that they are all covered by the sauce. So I need to just push these top ones down. There's a bit more space on that side. All right, might scrape it down as well. So I am under my max line, so that's good. Go next. Cook without the lid off for 30 minutes, 95 degrees, and it's lid off. Do not stir the meatballs for the first 10 minutes, and then gently stir them with a spatula 3 to 4 times, including the base of the Thermomix. So what I like to do, I'm going to press play. It's got a ½ hour cook, which we're going to cook those meatballs through in half an hour. It says don't stir them for 10 minutes because otherwise you'll probably break them apart. I need reminders in my life because I will forget. So I'm going to drag down the top. I'm going to bring up my timer and I'm going to set this for 12 minutes. It said not for 10. So I'm going to first of all set it for 12 minutes, and at 12 minutes time we'll come back and stir it. Then it said do it a few more times. It said, let's go back down to the steps. I think it said 3 or 4 times. So then we'll have about 15 minutes left. So I'll just say, hey, in 5 minutes time, I'll get it to come, I'll put a timer on for 5 more minutes. I'll just come back in 5 more minutes and then another 5 minutes, just so that we rotate them all around and make sure they cook through. So I will come back to you then and do that. So I'll see you in whatever time I just set, 12 minutes, right? I'll see you in 12 minutes time and we'll stir together. We'll see you then. Okay, it's called me back. This is the stir after that first 10 minutes. So I gave it 12. So we're just going to move them around a bit. Obviously, I've got more mince than originally planned in this recipe. You can see it's boiling, even though, because it's still cooking. I just need to be gentle. You can see I just broke this meatball here. Remember as well, my meatballs, considering they were making 20 out of 500 and I made 20 out of a kilo, mine could be double the size. I may need a little bit extra time to cook. I'm going to put my timer back on again. It's got 17 minutes still to cook meatballs. I'm going to put this on for 5 minutes time to come back for another stir and just make sure the meatballs keep getting moved around in there, and remembering to scrape the bottom like they said as well. And I'll come back at the end and show you the final results. So we'll see you. I won't show you 5 minutes time. I'm sure you don't need to see me scrape it every time. So I'll just see you at the end of the recipe. I'll see you then. Okay, welcome back. We've done that cook and we're actually done, and it looks amazing. I do love how I can just grab the bowl on the TM7 and it is cool to touch. That is very awesome. But yeah, we're cooked, we're done, ready for dinner. I'm gonna cook up some pasta, serve it with some pasta. But otherwise, give this recipe a go. When you do, tell me what you think. If you have a TM31, TM5, TM6, I hope you'll give it a go with the blade cover peeler and tell me what you think with that. But otherwise, take care and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.